So today we're going to be looking through The Art of Star Wars: The Force Awakens by Phil Szostak, who I believe he worked in the art department during the movie as an image researcher, and I think he's done a bit of work for Lucasfilm in the past. It's published by Abrams, who have done a number of really great Star Wars books in the past. So I am not a big fan of sci-fi. I don't like sci-fi stories really, or the aesthetic. Really the only sci-fi movie that I really love is the Star Wars movies. Having said that, I absolutely hated The Force Awakens, and I say that so it has a greater impact when I say I absolutely love this art book. It is probably one of the best art books I have ever read or looked through. First of all, the format is so much better to a lot of other art books. It's really big. It's about the same length as sort of typical art books, if you think of the sort of chronicle books for a lot of animated movies, but it's a lot taller, which is nice. And so like, look at this. The artwork you can see in such great detail. They're printed really high quality. The layout is fantastic. There's not a lot of wasted space, as you can see. It's really a fantastic example of how to do an art book. I love how big all the images are. There's lots of accompanying text. That it's light stuff. It will just sort of, tell you what, gives you a very basic name for the image, and then it'll usually have a quote by someone. So see here, they'll talk a little bit about it. It's very light stuff, but it's still nice, because in a lot of art books they feel very rushed, and they don't have any accompanying text. So even just to have, like a little 2-sentence comment on the work is really appreciated. And it's just packed with art of all sorts. So one of the important things about the book is the way it's structured. It goes chronologically through the production of them. So it starts, so chapter 1 is pre-production, and then there's production and post, and so the art follows the sort of chronological timeline of the making of the movie. And I've read a lot of people don't like that, but I really like it, because, well, a lot of people don't like it because because all the designs aren't, for certain, ships or characters aren't kept together. So you can sometimes go a long time without, so there can sometimes be, a number of pages in between developing designs for a specific ship or character. But I really enjoyed seeing the movie developed as a whole. It gives a really great overview. So you can see here it goes to April 2013. So it's going, these designs, you can see how the movie developed as a whole. I love this picture. I guess that's Rey in an X-Wing cutting through a ship with a lightsaber. I've never seen something like that. I mean, it doesn't really... I'm not sure how it makes sense that she's able to breathe there, but that's really cool. And I think then this is sort of a development. You can see the red fiery parts are obviously, I guess, where a lightsaber has cut through. That's really cool. But yeah, I guess never made that into the film. So the foreword is by Rick Carter, who is a Academy Award-winning, multiple Academy Award-winning production designer. He's done a lot of work with Spielberg's movies, and I'm pretty sure he did Avatar, James Cameron's Avatar. The range of, so you get a lot of different types of artwork in this. At the very start, you could see there were sort of, well, even here, there are, you know, very basic sketches, just fleshing out design ideas, and then you get incredibly detailed sort of almost sort of like final image development pictures. Because the text is also following this chronology, it really helps ground you at the start of each, I guess, month, where they tell you what was going on, how things were developing. Again, it's very light, but it really helps keep you sort of grounded in understanding where the production was at the time. And so, see, here's a really early sketch of Ray, or at the time she was called Kyra. So see, even things like that, you're getting a really, it's not, one of the things I hate most with a lot of art books is they sort of just show the final design, or a couple of different versions. This has so much great just Star Wars art. Even if you're not really interested in production art and things like that, and you just love Star Wars art, this is so great. There's so much great visual stuff. I can't praise this book highly enough, and I love it when I get to say great things about art books for movies that I don't really like, because then it speaks really highly to it. So one very interesting and kind of disappointing thing at the very start, you'll see it says also available from Abrams in fall 2016, The Making of Star Wars The Force Awakens by Mark Cotavaz. And unfortunately, it looks like, as of the recording of this video, that book is not going to come out. So at least this book has a little bit of production information, if we can't get a dedicated making of book, which would have been nice. But yeah, I wonder why that was cancelled. I love this really early stuff where you get to see things that never made it into the movies before they really even had the story completely fleshed out. The art department was already underway, so you get to see some really great ideas for things that were not even included, and that's something you rarely get to see, some sort of pre-production artwork. I'll just read one of the so while we're just going through the rest of the book, I'll just read one of the paragraphs of the text to let you know sort of what they're talking about. So this is from March 2013. As Michael Arndt's outline for Episode 7 continued to take shape, designs for the newly christened but still originless Jedi killer villain, Luke's homestead, and Kira, that's Rey, Kira's home planet, saw further development. The junk planet town also picked up new design influences. Spaghetti westerns of the 1960s and an Afghani short film slowly moved the outpost into something more Old West. Several new story beats were first explored in March, including a daylight attack on the outpost by the Jedi killer and his hooligans. First, a band of pirate mercenaries, then stormtroopers, which cemented the Jedi killer's alignment with Neo-Imperial forces. Arndt met with the art department on March 5th, and the very first inkling of a Neo-Imperial superweapon emanating from the planet was sketched out, then further developed in April. A climactic battle on an ice planet and a Yoda-like mentor figure for our young protagonists were also realized. Lastly, the enigmatic and temporarily named John Doe, later named Poe, rounded out the trio of lead characters. And then you also get, like I said, a lot of quotes from the artists, producers, things like that. So the text also is really really great and gives insight to the development of the movie as a whole. Definitely a 5-star book. Highly recommended to anyone interested in concept art, movie making, and of course, Star Wars.